Hello. Well, it's Saturday and thought I'd get some stuff done, and it's warm enough to paint. So I'm a little bit excited. It's looking like we're gonna be able to paint the exhaust and get it all wrapped up today. So that's the goal. Oh, and we're working on the XS 650. All right, I took the liberty of taking off the exhaust, and now I'm just gonna use some fishing line right here and go hook it up to the fence away from anything that can get some paint on it for me painting. Other than that, I think it's warm enough outside. It's pretty cold in here, but it's above 50 degrees out right now, and it's not 4 yet, and 4 is when it gets the hottest. So I'm hoping I can get my 3 coats on there and not worry about it. So yeah, let's go put the first coat on and see what happens. I'm gonna take you along with. All right, so I sanded up the pipes and they're all scored so the paint can adhere better. And now I'm just gonna use high temp paint and paint these over and get them nice and black. And so I'm gonna show you what paint I'm using, and then also showing you kind of a method, how many times to go over, and how to hang them up. Cool. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here I got some fishing line, really thin, not gonna get in the way of the paint, and they're hanging up on a old fence away from everything. So whatever I paint in the fence too, doesn't matter, which is the good thing. And yeah. So I'm gonna shake the bejesus out of these and get started. All right, so I'm using this Rust-Oleum high heat, like 2000 degrees paint, because it's going on my exhaust. And make sure you paint like 50 degrees and above, and that's what I got today, so that's the way I'm gonna do it. And yeah, so this is the reason why I'm painting it, is so it doesn't rust underneath the exhaust wrap that I bought from it, the titanium exhaust wrap. So this paint you're not even gonna really see. It's gonna be underneath the wrap, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but we still want it to look nice and get a nice clean coat over everything. All right, as you can see, I'm not a professional. I'm actually not very good at painting things. I'm known for having drips and stuff, but like I said, this is gonna be under exhaust wrap, so just getting on these layers real quick, bring it back inside and get on with the project. So yeah, everything's turned out good, it's starting to dry, so let's give it some time and come back and hit it with another coat. All right, so I'm using that high heat temp paint, and I just want to note that I'm not using primer. I sanded. I'm kind of satisfied enough with that, but you probably should use high heat primer. Oh well, you know. All right, so I finished painting. Let's get this inside, and I'm gonna show you the procedure of what we need to do and how we're gonna wrap the exhaust. So yeah. So now that we have the exhaust all painted up, it's ready to prep for the wrap. So what you're gonna want is a bucket, your exhaust wrap, and some metal zip ties or bigger hose clamps. And I recommend for this to use really thick rubber gloves because this stuff contains fiberglass, titanium. It's just really, it makes your hands itchy. It's not healthy to get on you, and it's a good practice. So yeah, I'm gonna go fill this up with warm water and put the sucker in, let it soak, and get to it. All right, folks, we got it soaking in some warm water. Just ran over to the house. The reason why we put it in warm water is to make it more malleable and work withable and more stretchy, so I can work around different edges and different curves inside of the exhaust system. Because with this exhaust system, we have a lot of these tabs that we're gonna have to go around and make look nice. So this is going to take more time than I probably think it is. So I just want to jump right into it before it gets dark. Let's get into it. All right, so when we're working with this pipe and wrapping it, you want to start from the back to the front, because you want to do that because you want the wind to bounce off and kind of flow off this this pipe going forward better, and rather than having ridges to where the wind can hit and cause noise and friction and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna start at the back and slowly make our way forward. Alright, I went ahead and started it because I don't know, it was just too much going on. But I got it all hooked up on the end here, correct length. Just gonna have to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, now it's time to start wrapping, which is kind of nerve-wracking. And once again, I've never done this before. So if this doesn't turn out the way you expect it to, don't be surprised. But I think I can make it. I think I can take my time and do this right. So yeah. Boom shakalaka. Alright, I'm restarting, but you get the gist. I'm gonna wrap around. I just gotta conserve camera battery. But yeah, like I said, wrapping from the back forward and trying to keep it as tight as possible is really what you want to do. And remember, you're using water. It's gonna dry out. It's gonna tighten up a little bit more, but ideally we want this as tight as possible. So I'm gonna give it another go, and I'll check up after this pipe. All right, I finished wrapping up this side, but it is a little bit loose. So I think I might cut these holders and try to rewrap some areas. I don't know yet. I'll update you. This process is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. All right, guys, after rewrapping it like 4 times, I finally got it to where I'm done. And that's only one of the pipes. And guess what? This one's the easier one. I was having trouble getting it stretched and tightened on the tube, actually. I actually got down my first pass. I got down to the end and was ready, and I tied it all off. And I looked at the other side, and it was completely loose. And so I had to bring it back and restart all over. And I actually ended up wasting a few ties, which sucks because I want to do double ties on each end. But now I'm just gonna kind of savor them and see what I need to do. Anyways, one tip that I found, it's not the most ideal thing, but when you're wrapping it really tight, it gets kind of like overlapped on itself. And what I recommend when you get in that situation is keep going, but what you want to do is you want to pick a time to kind of fold it on itself and kind of hide it behind the pipe where someone that is going to see the bike is not going to be able to see it. And also it'll add just a tiny little bump in the back, and it really shouldn't be that noticeable. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you this pipe, and then I'm gonna knock out the other pipe, because this one took me like an hour and a half, and the other pipe's probably gonna take me longer. But after a little experience, I might have a good chance at getting this done pretty good. But yeah, cue the clips. Overall, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm really excited to see it on the bike. And also, the color of it right now is not the final color. It kind of looks a little bit greenish, but it's gonna be a little bit more tan once it dries off and burns off, and eventually it'll kind of change color while the exhaust kind of burns into it and stuff. And yeah, and it should thin out a little bit too. So I'm stoked with how this turned out. For my first time, not too bad, but took me a while. So on to the next. That was definitely something that I never want to do again. But the turnout was good. I like it. On this one right here, it was very hard. I started at the end, worked my way down. These two things were a pain in the butt to get by. These two tabs right here. And then I came down to the end, and this bend right here was very hard to do. It was actually harder than the other one. And my pants are just soaked. It looks like I wet myself. But it turned out good. So this video is probably getting kind of long, I don't know. So I'm gonna throw them on the bike and show you guys the finished product. And yeah, I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy it's over and I never have to do it again. But wow, does it look good. Remember, you're only a few minutes into this video or whatever. I'm hours into this all day, basically. Let's go. Oh my gosh, does that look good. Woo. The start of the header. Moving back to the end, out to the super traps. Remember, this color is gonna lighten up a little bit, but holy moly does this look good. And I actually have one little piece left to put on it to make it look even better and to actually see what it's gonna look like when I'm riding. So this right here is actually heat shielding with adhesive on the back, and we're gonna put it on the back of this thing, and then this thing's gonna sit up right here. Oh. All right. I'm so stoked. Finally, I just need to paint the tank, guys. I just need to paint the tank, and it's gonna be really a bike. And all right, yeah, I have fiberglass all over my hands. The gloves actually didn't always stay on. I got to points where I needed to use my hands. Gotta go wash my hands. Dinner's ready inside, so I gotta head in. But this is awesome. I'm so happy, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and peace out.